Tommy! Oh my god, I look terrible. This isn't really about Bunty. That's kind of the point. I wouldn't send a message like that to fucking Keemstar. I wouldn't send a message like that to fucking Jeffrey Epstein. There's just something so fucking bizarre about being like, hey, I'm gonna make a lot of money trashing this human being, and then just be like, oh yeah, I'm not satisfied with just the amount of money that I'm making. I'm not satisfied with the amount of clout that I have because of it. All I really want is to just let the person know. I want to get in contact with him and be like, hey, just letting you know I'm having a great time as I trash your reputation. I don't care whose reputation it is. It doesn't matter. It's still really creepy. I've dealt with some genuine insane people. I've criticized people who are fucking mental, dude. And not once did it cross my mind to be like, oh, I should let this person know that I'm having a great time doing this. It's just a weird fucking thing. And you don't think I've talked to Bunty about all the stupid shit he's done? Like, give me a fucking break. It's fine. I don't even have a problem with him milking the subject of Bunty King. He can make videos for the rest of the time, honestly. It's a free country. It's one of the beautiful things about the internet, right? It's a free country. It's a free web. But I do think there's like a level of just like, what would compel you to just do that?
Okay. Before we get started, I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of who Nicholas DeOrio is.
Let's go. Are you natural, intelligent, gorgeous, exemplary, radiant person? Dirty Mexican starting fights, I see.
Nice.
Wow. The immigrants, they're just gonna pour into the country. Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Dude, I love that guy. I don't care that he made it terrible. Okay. Guys, let's not get racist. I'm sorry, I'm right. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking goddamn minute. Wait a fucking No. No! I don't know, I'm gonna get accused of being gay, transphobic, homophobic, pro-trans, pro-slavery, all in one trip. I'm gonna be an alt-right radical leftist. You're gonna be like an alt-right... No, I'm sorry, this is a bit silly, but I'm kind of panicking here, and I'm no longer in the homies.
That's the out-of-context clips out of the way. Before anyone accuses me of representing him the wrong light, I have a special message from Nicholas.
Listen, if you have a problem with the way I portray you in a video, then fuck you.
Nicholas DeOrio is arguably one of the most respected commentary channels in the community from his peers. The heavyweight champion. His content represents the integrity commentary is meant to have. The viewers who dislike Nicholas DeOrio have already disagreed with me, but the same people know I like to give credit where it's due. He makes great content, you don't have to like his videos. You won't find many if any bad takes from Nicholas DeOrio. He makes sure he tells the truth in his videos and objectively presents the people he talks about. Doesn't have a history of using racial slurs, being homophobic, he refers to trans people by the correct pronoun. He doesn't believe in deplatforming, censorship or people losing their money.
You think I should be taking a quarter?
Dude, I wish somebody would just make him poor. I know that's never gonna happen, and I know it's like futile to ever
Ignore that clip. He said that in the same conversation, disavowing the quartering, going after sponsors. Why do you want him sued? It'll bring down commentary if Def Noodles gets made poor. We can write off that Nicholas's one and only bad take. If he's squeaky clean, why am I making this video? Because there are a minority of people that are terrified of him. He brings up mistakes from people's past when they are trying to move on. Terrorizes past victims instead of criticizing and moving on. It needs to be called out. The ego may be a character, this is hard to understand. If Nick could say for us.
You are horrible at everything you do. You play the smug, cool edgelord, but you're actually that sniffling, whimpering pussy that hides behind his YouTube persona every time anybody has the balls to call his irrelevant ass out.
It's funny you say that. I thought the same thing watching you. This smug edgelord persona with the stone heart act. This may be more real than internet personality it shows when in conversation with friends.
Jeremy is the one who started the entire
No,
thing.
but like, this isn't to like besmirch you in any way, but you seem to be really bothered about something really small. This isn't like Tonka or Monday Matt or something.
This is my internet personality. That's just how I sound. You know, when I make my videos, I talk a lot of shit about a lot of people, so I really try to show up on some smaller channels or do some work with smaller channels to try to like balance out me being a dick publicly with helping some other people.
That's good to see that actually big creators do give a shit about us. Alright.
When Nicholas DeOrio gets heated, he turns into this kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
Well,
You are horrible at everything you do. You play
it's like
smug, cool edgelord.
That's when you know he's about to bark like a dog. I don't believe that Nicholas has an internet personality. I see the dark side. I'm not trying to diagnose him with a disorder. But you can hear in normal conversation this online personality shows its ugly face often. The reason we don't see much of Nicholas DeOrio's offline personality, he has unorthodox views. An example, he said he doesn't really believe in therapy.
Basis. I'm not gonna like completely throw him away or whatever. He needs to do a lot of fucking like searching for himself and shit. I'm not somebody who says you should go to like therapy or something, because I don't really know if I even believe in therapy and stuff like that. But he does have a lot to figure out, a lot to like.
His view on modern slavery is just factually wrong. The comments called it out.
I genuinely don't believe there are more slaves now than the 1800s.
Jesus Christ, slavery denier.
Oh, you're so AIDS.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard of
You realize
Holocaust
the
denier.
population of the U.S. was like a fraction of what it is today, right? You know that, right, Nick?
Would you buy
Introduce
this? Would
it.
you- Nick, would
Slavery
you buy-
denier.
You're saying it's
Why-
bigger now than in the slave trade?
would you- Okay, so it's smaller
Well, there's more
in
people now.
percentage.
Yeah,
per,
the world is like a
total
million times
population,
bigger.
But there's like 1,000 times more people in the world now than there was back then.
Plus, it's easier to do because people can communicate
that's
more.
why I
Like,
said
Yeah,
there's
apparently
so
all
many
it takes is a
people.
loan shark.
You are entitled to have any beliefs you want, but a creator with a platform questioning the validity of therapy because it doesn't apply to them is irresponsible. If I was a sociopath, I too would disavow therapy. Allegedly.
This isn't really about Bunty. That's kind of the point. I wouldn't send a message like that to fucking Keemstar. I wouldn't send a message like that to fucking Jeffrey Epstein. There's just something so fucking bizarre about being like, hey, you know, I'm gonna make a lot of money trashing this human being. And then just be like, oh yeah, I'm not satisfied with just the amount of money that I'm making. I'm not satisfied with the amount of clout that I have because of it. All I really want is to just let the person know. I want to get in contact with him and be like, hey, just letting you know I'm having a great time as I trash your reputation. I don't care whose reputation it is. It doesn't matter. It's still really creepy.
In what world did Nicholas DeOrio think sending a DM like that to Bunty King was something a sane person should do? It's as if a school bully sent you a message reminding you of how they bullied you and they are better than you for it. Don't suggest cyberbullying isn't real and you can turn off the computer, go about your day. The damage is already done by the message being sent. The internet for some is an escape. When John Swan was telling Byman to leave the internet, he was effectively telling him to leave the world he knows.
Like, this is not good. This is something I believe you need to get help with in some way. I don't know whichever avenue you want to take with that. But I think you need to get help because these are the sort of feelings, if you're trying to deny them now, while earlier, you know, you said in her DMs that these were feelings that you had.
John is literally telling this kid that he's so fucked up that he needs therapy for having a crush on another kid.
Because I don't really know if I even believe in therapy and stuff like that. But he does have a lot to figure out, a lot to like.
You need to go, you need to log off. You need to like leave online settings because you cannot have a public platform when you've admitted to this stuff. And this stuff is going to haunt you. Now, forever online.
This stuff is going to haunt you forever online. Let me remind you that Pieman has social issues. Most of Pieman's interactions with other people comes from online. Most of his friends are online. This is where a large part of his life is. And John, someone he looks up to, is telling him that it's all over. So what do you think's gonna happen?
My stance is not Bunty is innocent. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve criticism. Chris Ray Gunn said in the video he told Bunty about the shit he'd done. But that message from you, I felt the same Chris Ray Gunn did. Even if Bunty had been a dick to his past friends, what Chris Ray Gunn said still applies. Being this petty to people you have criticized is gross. What was the game plan? You send that to Bunty, no one finds out. You knew Bunty would go public. Or you were with friends saying this would be funny. The community is questioning John Swan's mental state, but why not Nicholas DeOrio? This isn't funny, it's sick. Nicholas DeOrio likes to throw his weight around. Shames people into taking his bullying. Don't be a crybaby, just take it. You know the consequence of showing your audience you can get to someone will result in them doing until the creator reacts. Copy-pasters on past victims just to give them a hard time. It's like a school bully who pulls the pants down then follows you around doing it again. If someone loses it and freaks out, that's better. You want a reaction of someone losing their mind. Then you get a new copy-paster to haunt them with.
Now, if anybody doubts my motivation here, this is one of the funniest responses. And by the way, we sent it back to him. We sent it back to him like 50 times. This is a copy pasta. If you find my Discord server, it's like fucking 30 messages in a row because it was so funny.
When Susie Lou made her mental health post, Nicholas DeOrio done a dramatic reading of it making fun of her. Tipster had the decency to back off and take it seriously. Believe she faked it or lied, that is irrelevant. Before knowing that, treating it as a bait, it's gross.
So I'm here to be educated. I would like to be educated.
You want to be educated, so you threw the first punch, but you want to be educated.
No, I don't think I did.
You don't. You don't think that when we fired up a stream called Bo Blacks gave Trisha Paytas herpes, and we ran and did a caller stream where 9 minutes out of the entire hour that was broadcasted to 200 people was giggling at your video, never in our fucking wildest dreams thinking that it would offend you.
But I would like to be educated.
You want to be educated, so you threw the first punch, but you want to be educated.
No, I don't think I did.
You do not get to be the gatekeeper of who gets to take offense or how they feel. If Bionic Pig wants to ban people from his chat sent by John Swan, he can. Your disclaimer is false. You want to humiliate people, harass them too. You have done this yourself on many occasions, so why continue to put a disclaimer in your videos you don't stand by? You don't believe it. Your disclaimer is modern slavery. I never intended to talking about his alliances. Guilt by association is the death of commentary. I say this because who you are friends with shouldn't matter. It's what you do in name of those friends that we should judge. Tipster saying I don't associate with kumitards. Labeling me as something I'm not because I follow Chosen Reborn on Twitter and comment on some of his videos. With Tipster logic, you are alt-right. Because someone you follow is alt-right. That's not me judging, that is your words to describe Ethan Ralph, one of your well-known alliances.
You watch the kill stream?
Yeah.
Really? Is that? You watch the kill stream? They're not very.
What's wrong with that?
They're not very inclusive.
Inclusive? I mean, like...
Because everybody seems to be afraid to talk about the alt-right, less influential Keemstar that we have in our hands here. You don't want to be involved with the alt-right. You don't want to be involved with this community. This has been my hot take on Ethan Ralph.
If a YouTuber's go-to is, I don't associate with you based on what creators you support. That shows your character. Nicholas DeOrio is a well-known returning member of the kill stream that caters to the alt-right. Why does Tipster not disavow Nick the same way he does people who support Tunka and calling them kumitards?
Why are you okay with your friends stealing content, Nick?
Dude, why do I have to go on Bo Blacks' behalf? Dude, I thought we don't do this whole, oh, look who his friends thing. Oh, Nick's now in trouble.
Nicholas said this in a debate with Tunka. I thought we don't do this, look who your friends. Do we pay attention to who people support or judge individuals based on individuals, or does it only matter when it suits your argument? I'll leave that up to the viewers to judge. I judge an individual on their own actions, but pointing out the hypocrisy because they block people or disregard if they follow someone they don't like. Nicholas DeOrio should be called out for association to the alt-right if I'm labeled into a community I barely know about. The double standard. The robot and Nicholas have one common belief. Keep content about the character and things they do, not the extrinsic traits.
So she will flex and flex because her ego is the size of her forehead.
Now wait a minute. Nick, no!
Hey, I thought we're against intrinsic traits on this platform, Taka. Oh, we don't want to get flagged for harassment.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Donald Trump wants you to know that he has zero issues with the size of his hand.
My hands are fine. You know, my hands are normal.
You know what they say about a man with small hands. Small Nick.
There used to be a great tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug, that's the high, not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can pay you a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, I like it's the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. You're like a growing addiction. Don't you tell me it is healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, I like it, the gloom on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. Hey, yeah. Did you tell me that's healthy, baby? Did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen, baby? I can make you from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that you're roses in bloom. A light hits the gloom on the grave. Ooh, yes, I can pray to a kid from the rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave, baby. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Bitches.